Woohoo! Happy Tax Freedom Day 2019! Do you know what Tax Freedom Day is? Well, this year it's on June 10th. Happy Tax Freedom Day. Actually, it's not a real day. It's just an idea. It's a way to think about how much tax the average Canadian has to pay every year. The idea is, if a person works from January 1st all the way till June 10th, that's how much tax they have to pay to the government. Wow! Can you believe it? January 1st to June 10th. Now, obviously, it doesn't really work like that. You don't have to pay your tax, from January 1st to June 10th. You pay it in small amounts. You don't have to pay it all in one chunk. Otherwise, you would starve between January and June. Right? That's half the year. You would have no money and you would starve. So that's not how it works. How it works is the tax comes off your paycheck every month. For example, let's say you work at Walmart. Okay? Every month you get a paycheck, or maybe every 2 weeks, okay, you get a paycheck from Walmart, and Walmart takes tax off your paycheck and pays it directly to the government. And then at the end of the year, when you file your taxes, you might have to pay a little bit more, or you might get a little bit back from the government, right? Depending on, your situation. For example, if you gave some money to charity, right, then that lowers the amount of taxes you have to pay. So let's say you gave a few $100s to charity. Then when you file your taxes at the end of the year, then the government looks at that and they say, okay, actually you paid a little bit too much in tax, we're going to give you some money back. So most Canadians pay a little bit of tax every month. It comes off their paycheck, and then at the end of the year when they file their taxes, they either get a little bit of money back or they have to pay a bit extra money. But the idea of taking it off your paycheck every month is so that so that people can sort of manage it a little bit better. Imagine having to pay it all right at one time. Right, that's a lot of tax, working from January 1st all the way till June 10th. Okay, so that period represents the average amount of tax that the average Canadian pays every year. That's a lot, right? June 10th. That's like half a year. Okay, so half a year you have to pay to the government, and then anything after June 10th is the amount that you get to keep for yourself. Okay, that's why it's called Tax Freedom Day. It's June 10th. I don't know if you've ever heard about that before. Probably most people have never heard about it. Most people probably don't know how much tax they actually pay. But it's a lot, right? People don't realize it because it just comes off their paycheck. But if you really think about it, yeah, it's about half. Almost 50% of your money goes to the government. And what does the government do with it? Well, they spend it on free education from kindergarten to grade 12. They spend it on free healthcare for everybody in Canada. If you're a Canadian citizen, you get free healthcare, you get free education. If you're a kid, you get to drive on the nice roads here in Canada. Canada has probably some of the best roads in the world. Very nice highways. I'm doing a trip across Canada right now, and it is wonderful. I really appreciate the nice roads that we have here in Canada. And taxes go to pay for other things, right? Like keeping the country clean, keeping the country safe. So I really appreciate living here in Canada. 50% tax, is it worth it? Well, I don't know. It is nice living in Canada, but I think if the government was a little bit more efficient, it wouldn't need to be that high. I think the government could lower taxes a lot and still keep pretty much everything the same. The problem with governments is that governments are very inefficient. Hey, maybe I should be the prime minister and straighten everything out, lower people's taxes, and make Canada an even better place to live, and you can come live here. If you're my subscriber, you get a free passport. Wow! Smash that like button if you didn't know about Tax Freedom Day, and I'll see you guys over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.